For life.
Yeah. Bullet cast. What's going on? Stacy. This elite podcast in here. Ain't nobody better. Look. Yeah. Listen to us every time we live in the side. When you turn it on, it's just defining the mind. If you feel it, our opinions is great. When everything we moving now in the state, turn us on. If the feeling is right, every opinion now comes from the heart. No time we move with a part. We on the radio, it's wrestling. Time's aggression. Here is the feeling in the prove. Get the lesson. And if you want to prove it to you now, here's the feeling in the time and everything that we did. Listen to the senators connecting it.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone messiah, joined by Poison Scarlet and the podcast champion, Mr. Brandon Tanguma. What is going on, guys?
Hello, everybody. Great times. So happy to be here.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Yes. Stop stealing my catchphrases. God, Katie, what are you doing?
That's not a catchphrase.
It's mine, though.
That's not a catchphrase.
It's mine.
It's a saying, and you do not own a trademark for that.
You don't know what I do.
You don't own a trademark for it's a pleasure.
You don't know what I spend my money on. I could have bought a trademark yesterday. You don't know that.
Yeah, right. I doubt.
I did. I didn't.
I want receipts.
That's personal information. Guys, we're here to talk about professional wrestling. Got a big interview coming out soon. Jacob Fatu is going to finally grace the airwaves.
Fantastic.
Yes. We've waited a long time in this game for that one, but we got it. Brandon, no.
Can't wait. It's going to be a great time. You know, he's part of the bloodline, doing some big things MLW around the indie scene. You know, we've known him for a long time, hung out with him, and so now he's finally on the airwaves.
What's
we as a podcast. He's a friend of the Bullet Cast. He doesn't know who I am, even though I've seen him like a couple times.
Yes, you guys.
Or the same day, and then he's like, "Oh, what's your name again, bro?" Brandon.
You guys will get privy to in the interview. It will be announced to the world that I am officially a real honorary ooze. Yes, I'm trying to. Do you guys want to be a part of it? Just let me know. I'll try to get some applications.
Trust me, all I have to do is bring some homemade chocolate chip cookies to Oasis, and I will be in for life.
We like alcohol over there.
Yeah, but y'all also like food.
We do like food. A lot of things to talk about on this show. Shinsuke Nakamura has returned on SmackDown. Happy for him. Congrats. Says he wants a title. Him and Gunther, is that a thing we want to see? Can we get him over to Raw and mix it up with Austin Theory, maybe?
I could see both, honestly. Maybe give him a shot at the IC title with Gunther, and then after that happens and he loses because Gunther's on a streak right now, they move him over to Raw during the draft and take him into a feud with Theory. That could be fun.
Wait, what? Wasn't he supposed to wrestle Roman and then it didn't happen? Right?
Shinsuke?
Yeah.
I believe so. That was something that seemed to happen.
Yeah, something we were like going in that direction, and then it didn't happen.
Because Boogs got hurt, and we're like, okay, they're gonna give Shinsuke a little bit of a push, and then that didn't happen.
Yes, that's right. There's something there.
I think he went to Japan after that.
No. He went to Japan this year.
Oh.
Yeah, we're talking about like what, April of last year? Yeah.
Hey, it's April now. It was April then. At least I'm in the right month.
Yes. But I think that's something that would be interesting to see. I don't know how would we get there, but you never know. Outside of the ring, Nick Khan gave an interview. I forget what the outlet was, but he said Triple H will remain the sole head of creative, and if Vince has any ideas, they will discuss them accordingly.
The whole thing seems kind of not sketchy, but we still don't know exactly how things are handled with the creative situation. I mean, outside of the WrestleMania, the Raw after WrestleMania, where it seemed like Vince had his good little hands on everything, we've kind of seemed like Triple H has had the reins, pun intended, on the creative. So I'm hoping that we can kind of keep it that way. And I was saying, everyone set your tea kettle. Vince probably is going to take over, and it's looking that way right now. I can have some hope that he won't take over.
Can we just be done with the complaining and the oh my god, why? Like, look, since Hunter's been in charge, like it hasn't been drastically different. All these amazing changes that people said were going to happen haven't happened.
But that also has to do with probably Vince hovering over him, not literally, pulling the strings, but it's one thing when your father-in-law is like right behind you looking over. He won't like change your work, but he's still looking at your work, and he could if he wants to. Like that's a different dynamic than him being able to do whatever he wants. Like,
well, I'm talking about like, when Vince was completely gone and all these drastic changes didn't happen and all that, but it's like Triple H said in that interview he did when they first announced he was going to be the head of creative. It's his time now. There are many different flavors of ice cream, and he gets to pick the flavors.
Good callback.
Yes. I think it'll be okay. I think we'll be fine. Nick Aldis has returned to Impact. He was gone for quite some time. Obviously, we know what Nick Aldis has been doing with the NWA. He was in Impact as Magnus number of years ago. But he's returned, so I guess that's where he's going to be for the next or foreseeable future. Hey, his time with the NWA was done. This I guess is probably the next plausible best option. I'm here for it.
Yeah, good for him. His wife, Mickie James, still working with the company, even though she did have to forfeit or vacate the Knockouts Championship. So, good for him to come back, and maybe he can do some things over there, whether it's wrestling or, behind the scenes work, whatever the hell they want him to do. But, Nick Aldis is definitely a good talent for Impact to have. So, intrigued to see what he can do, especially with like Josh Alexander going down with injury. So a big hole needs to be filled kind of in that babyface top tier realm. So he's the guy they can kind of plug right in.
Katie, any thoughts? All right. Charlie Caruso, or Charlie Arnold, I think that's her real name, leaves ESPN for Outkick, aka Fox News. She's going to be getting her own morning show. I guess this is something she's wanted for quite some time. So it looks like she's finally getting it. Congrats to her. She's been gone from the company for 2 years. It's crazy. Time flies. Time flies. It really does. Brandon, how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of, since she left WWE, I've, seen her on things in ESPN, doing some sports centers. I think she's done a lot of things with the UFC, and now she's leaving. And it seems as though ESPN is doing a lot of budget cuts, and they're going to be letting go of talent or doing whatever the hell they got to do. And now she's going to Outkick. To be honest, no idea what the hell that was until I kind of saw it. And then I saw like screenshots of her on Fox News and talking about the transgender sports bill that got passed, the other day. So that's fun. That's just so great. I know she handled that very responsibly on Fox News.
Well, of course she did.
Of course, yes. With all the grace and dignity, I know anyone on Fox News will.
Yeah. Richard Holiday is now a free agent. He has left Major League Wrestling MLW. So for background, he was in the Dynasty in MLW with Alexander Hammerstone, who was now the MLW heavyweight champion, and Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who's the AEW champion. So Holiday, I mean, I like his work. He is the rich guy character, in which I've worked a show with him once. Like he walked in the building, AirPods and Starbucks. He lives the gimmick, man. So it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes. maybe bring him in to AEW because he has the tie with MJF, or maybe he can just go do something else on his own. But I'm happy for him. Are you guys familiar with his work?
I'm
Absolutely
not.
no clue.
You should be. What guys? We got to sit down and watch some wrestling. We're gonna have a day where we get together, we sit down, and we watch wrestling. I'm talking about we're gonna watch from Mae Young back in the 30s, and then we're just gonna go down a rabbit hole of wrestling. We're
Well,
gonna
as long as there's like a 24 case of beer next to me, I'll be
oh
okay with
no,
that.
no,
I
no, no.
will
You guys,
completely just.
we have to be sober so we can really, really, really understand what's going on.
I'm gonna need some rum and some pina colada mix.
No, no, no. We have to be sober. We're gonna understand why Lou Thesz, the move
Well,
that became the
according
Thesz
to what you
press.
told me, Philip, last week, is I'm not going to understand anything until I get into that ring and take a bump.
Well,
So that's what we have to do first.
Also true.
well, that is very that
Or,
is that is
since your
very
ankle's
true.
healed up, you can wrestle me like a man.
But come on down to Oasis, man. I'm there. I'm there all the time. Where are you at? Nowhere. Nowhere to be found.
I'm at work.
I live in the shadows, like Sting. I'm everywhere, but nowhere.
You're gonna be on your couch since the age is leaving.
Okay, that was unnecessary.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, no, are we not supposed to mention this? This is a thing that's happening. They're leaving. They've
Are they
realized
leaving? I don't know.
that. I mean, these are the things I've been told.
Oh, these are things you've been told. That's nice.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
I see you've come out of your wrestling bubble, Philip.
It's okay, man. WWE's been nominated for an Emmy. It's the Sports Emmy. For the documentary they made about Ric Flair becoming Ric Flair. Um, hey, WWE getting out there, getting all these other awards. I love to see it. Inside the ring, Mickey James relinquished the Knockouts title. Deonna Purrazzo and Jordan Grace had a match for said championship. Deonna Purrazzo was the new Knockouts champion, and Jordan Grace apparently is a free agent as well. Now, she would spice up any woman's division. Where does she go?
I mean, I don't know if she could go to AEW because of the whole Jonathan Gresham situation that kind of happened with ROH and Tony Khan. So if a wife, husband, two completely different people, but you just never know what happens with that kind of dynamic going to the same company. But I would enjoy to see her go anywhere. I think both divisions in AEW or WWE, if we're just going to go down those two roads, desperately kind of need like top tier talent to kind of freshen up their division. So if she were to go somewhere else, I am all for it because you guys know I've been a Mama Thickness / Mommy Muscle since All In, since she had that battle royal.
That was your first time seeing her?
Well, really knowing, really getting to see her.
I see.
Now, you've been on, Mama Thickness forever, apparently.
I watch the indies, man. That's
Once
it.
again, Philip a way better person than I am, but yet he can't beat me in these predictions. Crazy.
What are you talking about? That's good, man. Money in the Bank is coming up. That bullet cast in the bank. I'm gonna win it, and I'm gonna cash it in on something I know you don't watch. Then I'll be the champion again.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
Fine. John Morrison or Johnny KO, aka Johnny Hands. He had that match against Harley from Epic Mealtime, and he knocked him out. John Morrison out here beating people up. I like that.
I mean, it was making the rounds on Twitter, and people were kind of having fun with it, like, "Oh, John Morrison's boxing now." Oh my God, I remember when John Morrison was wrestling. So it was like a lot of non-wrestling people talking about it. But I mean, before we interviewed him, I didn't even know he was doing this. And as an Epic Mealtime fan, old school Epic Mealtime fan, I was like, "Oh, he's wrestling Harley. This could be fun." And I saw the clips, and I mean, he looked absolutely yacked. Shout out John Morrison. He had like the crew with him. He had like his wife, obviously. He had a bunch of like WWE guys, some AEW guys, I think too. So he just had everybody there.
LA Knight. Yeah. Can't forget about it.
Karrion Kross and Scarlett Boudreaux were there. His wife obviously was there. Taya Valkyrie.
You guys are forgetting the most important one. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Hall of Famer. Oh, loved it. It was fantastic.
He's really cool, actually.
It was all fantastic.
I like him. He's great. But anyway, no, looking at some of the clips of Johnny Knockout, boxing were actually he was pretty good. Um, I watch a lot of boxing matches with my husband, so have a little knowledge in that regard.
So maybe I should box Brandon. Maybe I should do that.
No.
What you
A
mean?
lot
either-
of endurance training.
Either all or nothing. Either we're doing the graps or we're doing some MMA.
Bro.
We're doing all or nothing. We're not just doing boxing. We're
Why
either doing
not, bro?
MMA?
Are you afraid of Philly hands? Is that
Well,
it?
if I was scared, then I wouldn't want to do MMA. But if you want to do some MMA, let's go.
What you mean? We can
I'm a
do
purple and a half belt at
a purple and a half.
at T Kane's whatever dojo in Castro Valley over by the Jack in the Box.
I don't want to hear that. I don't
When
wanna hear
was-
this live.
When was the last time you went to a class?
Well, semantics. It's been, there was a fork in the road, and I decided to no longer, continue on in my karate career. But you don't lose it up here, though.
Sure, right.
Bro, I'm gonna get you with this Phil Jitsu, bro. You don't want none. I'm telling you.
All I know is that if you guys are actually going to do this, y'all better start endurance training like now.
What you mean, bro? I know
I do my TikTok high incline, low speed thing at the gym. That's all I need. As long as I'm doing a little bit more than Phillip, that's all I need to do.
Look, I know I've been on the shelf since the injury, but I got a lot left in the tank. What did Mark Henry say? I got a lot left in the tank. Yes, sir.
And these kids
sir.
just talking the talk. But
It's
can they
true.
walk the walk?
I could walk the walk all day long.
Well, so we had the Los Padres game on Sunday. I made
one.
I made one hard throw, like one
going to
legit
Vegas too?
throw. I wake up the next day, could not move my arm above my head. So I'm in great physical shape right now.
Well, I mean, at least you're honest.
I mean, and it also could be worse. Unfortunately, our boy Marks, he started for us. He threw one inning, and he's probably done for the rest of the season.
What happened to him?
T's and P's to Marks' shoulder.
Oh no! Did he tear something?
He just came off the mound and was like, "I'm done," and that was it. I was like, "All right, credit to him. He gutted it out. He didn't just stop. He finished the inning, and he walked off with his arm dangling." Shout out Marks, the EVP, or what's his official title, Phillip?
Oh no, that
Former
doesn't
EVP
exist anymore. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Still got the Bulletcast championship as his profile picture. Respect.
Because that is that's his greatest life accomplishment. That's why. Who 420.
Who? Oh, we're already up to the fan mail segment already.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm half paying attention. I'm sorry.
Wow, tisk. You see, guys,
My mind is in a blender today. Okay.
Yes, because they're moving to
A
Vegas. I
blender?
know.
Because yes, they are. And shout out to Brian Tronick. He ain't here today, but I did a rare tweet yesterday and said I was in shambles. No context, but if you know, you know. Shout out Brian, who just randomly texted me at 1:30 in the morning, like I'd be up, which I was, but he wanted to check in on me because he had no idea it was about the A's. So shout out Brian, even though he's not here. He's a good brother.
Good on him.
I did get a kick out of that. I was like, oh, good job, buddy.
Claps.
Anyway,
Claps for Brian Tronick.
let's hurry this.
Looking
hockey
out
up
for
before I
people.
start-
Good job.
Before I start crying again.
Yeah, so back to the fan mail. Who? I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry you were cut off by this. But by this nonsense about the A's. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
The boogeyman's coming.
He's
Or
coming
Phillip
to
didn't
get ya.
Or he didn't pay his electric bill, one or the other.
I'm a little scared, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. The lights just went off. Mates, Raw ended in utter chaos, and I freaking loved it. Hey, look, I love a little chaos. I'm not mad at it. Nigerian Prince. I like this Bronson Reed and Lashley feud. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
It's already getting fun. Big meaty men slapping meat.
Yes.
Robert. Katie, you sound a little too enthusiastic about big meaty men slapping meat.
We had the conversation about this last week.
When we did?
Yes. In fact, we asked Midas Creed about if he liked meaty men, big meaty men.
Oh,
Slapping
so
meat.
now this is coming back to me. Midas was like, "Oh, I don't know about all that," or something like that.
Yup.
Yeah.
But yes, we all know I am a fan.
Oh, I see. I see. Robert Walker, is Punk really coming back? How will this work out this time around? Rumor has it that Punk wants to work with the Elite. We have a special section for CM Punk on today's show, and we will talk about it. Let's go over to the Instagram DMs. And Brightest Day X, the Hall of Famer.
Mr. X.
Reports are that CM Punk will be coming back in June, and that will be the new Saturday night show, AEW Collision. Will mainly be Punk's show and also act as a brand split for AEW. Is any of this a good idea? We'll talk about. Yeah, we'll say that for when we talk about Punk. He also says, "What do you think of Bullet Club Gold so far in AEW? And can they make an impact the way the OGBC did in New Japan back in the day?"
I don't like it. It's
Lightning,
in
Lightning
a
doesn't
storyline, Jay White was kicked out of the Bullet Club, and so now he's coming to AEW and is still a part of the Bullet Club. And back in 2015, 2016, I was like the biggest Bullet Club mark around. But that was 8 years ago at this point, and I think it's time for us to cut the cord and let's move on from the Bullet Club.
If he had gone to WWE, this wouldn't have happened, right?
I was the one saying he probably should have went to WWE over AEW. But
here we are. Yeah. Lightning doesn't strike twice. I'm sorry. The magic, it's gone. Is it too early for people to start speculating that Becky Lynch is going to leave when her contract doesn't even end until next year? She's one of the faces of their company and their division. Why would she leave?
Exactly. Why would she leave? And it's far too soon to speculate.
Yeah. He also says, if you haven't seen it yet, I was lucky enough to create a new design for the Bad Child himself, the Man of the Hour, Leo Rush, now available on Pro Wrestling Tees. I did see that. Hey, shout out, man! Shout out.
It was really cool.
He did one for Gringo Loco too.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Brightest Day X making these things happen. Now let's get to the CM Punk portion of the show. So we've heard all the rumors. June 17th or something like that. AEW Collision Saturday nights. Let's talk about the new show first of all. I think we talked about when it was first announced, or the rumors are going around. It was too early for Rampage, so I don't know why they need a third show when they have Dark and Dark Elevation. If it's going to serve as a brand split, I'm all for that. So all these episodes don't kind of feel the same because you see all the same characters. Like I see Sammy Guevara on Dynamite, you can see him on Rampage. Kind of the same with the other people. Katie, what are your thoughts on a quasi brand split for the AEW roster?
Honestly, I think that it's a good idea. Let's be real, the AEW roster is bloated. There's a lot of great talent there, and I definitely think it was a wise decision to sign all of this talent, but you're not utilizing everyone when you could be. So having a brand split, giving more people some more time to shine, I think is a better idea.
Brandon.
I agree that the AEW talent pool is bloated and it's big, and you probably should have some more people get some more television time. But the brand split, I just don't know how that's gonna fix things because they don't have a ton of top tier talent. And I know we're gonna talk about the CM Punk aspect, but if CM Punk is the head of the Saturday show, and then the Elite is the head of the Wednesday show, what is that going to do for locker room morale, and how many people can actually get on one side compared to the other? And it's almost like you're sending a message that, you have to be either on Team Punk or Team Elite, and then what happens on the pay-per-views, because they're going to be together. So it's not like they can't just be a split apart forever. And also a Saturday show at whatever it was, 8:00 or something like that. That's, especially during the summertime, is just terrible, terrible time slot for any type of show. So I just don't know how that's going to pan out, over the whole year. And if you look at Rampage is almost like a soft little brand split already. Jade Cargill is pretty much on there all the time. A lot of the mid card guys are on there. So we already kind of see a dynamic of the important people, quote unquote, are on Dynamite, and then the lesser people are on Rampage. And so how are they gonna balance that out with another show now. And make people care about, which is the ultimate goal.
Yeah. I mean, when Punk was on television, their ratings were doing very well. So if you want to, he's going to be brought in to get eyeballs on this third show, which is really the goal for that. Now, as far as CM Punk coming back in general, you did feel the dip when he was no longer on TV. You did feel it. We can all agree and admit there was a dip and a shift once Punk was gone. They were at a great high point when Punk was there.
Definitely. I
So
mean, it was a lot of that was a lot of drama. That was a lot of drama, and it felt like we lost something when we lost CM Punk in AEW. It just wasn't the same. So getting him back in June, I think, is going to be a really good thing for the brand.
absolutely, Brandon.
CM Punk is a complex character, for better and for worse. If he were to come back, which it looks like he will come back, it is going to be interesting to see how everything shakes out. But I don't know. I just kind of wish, the adults, which is everybody, could figure it out and get it together. But there tends to be a track record with CM Punk, and people talk about how, people who just see him on the internet just see him as a wrestler, see him as one way, but behind the scenes, not like he's a different person, but he just kind of comes across differently, in private. So and the elite aren't exactly looking out that the Brandon Cutler tweet about retweeting the Deadspin article about CM Punk gaslighting us, and he was like, "Oh, somebody gets it," but it's and they deleted it because obviously that was a terrible idea for him to say, and I just don't think anybody's looking good in this situation right now.
They're not, but I mean, a fourth summer of Punk could mean great business for AEW. And look, if we're doing this all in Wembley show, you have to do Kenny Omega versus CM Punk. You have to.
Oh, I agree. That would be a fantastic match.
You do that, or you do CM FTR versus the Elite. One of the two. Something. You want to get those asses in those seats, that's what you have to do.
But we saw with that Brandon Cutler tweet, and I think Brandon Cutler is an extension of the Young Bucks, that their heels are dug in, and I just Kenny is kind of the more easygoing guy, and I could see a Punk Kenny match. But the Young Bucks, that seems to be kind of the sticking point, and I just don't know if they can get past that. And you can say, "Oh, it's best for business," and they could have but these are also human beings, and if they don't want to work with somebody, whether they say it's for their mental health or they just hate a person so much they don't want to work with them, then
look, man,
you can't force them.
Dude, look, Brett and Sean work together. Okay, if Edge, Lita, and Matt Hardy can all come together and work together, these guys can work together.
It's a different time, different people.
It's but yeah, I mean, just think about the business, man. It's things you got to do. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it affected them that great of a deal. We'll see. We'll see what happens with all of this, but it's an interesting time. As we approach the summer. Will we get the fourth summer of Punk? Will he actually come back, guys?
He will. I think he will.
I'm about 95% sure that he'll come back.
All right. Well, let's get into Monday Night Raw. Raw ended in chaos. You have Bloodline and Judgment Day and LWO all fighting and whatnot, and KO and Sammy and Riddle. This is very fun. This is exciting end to Raw. Another great Monday Night Raw. Another great one. Brandon, it was chaos.
It was chaos, and we had kind of a new wrinkle into the Bloodline story with the Judgment Day getting involved, whether it was Roman who kind of hired them and or it was Paul Heyman or whatever the case may be. I mean, we are kind of seeing Paul Heyman either acting rogue or just Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman pushing out the Usos, it looks like. So I did like the intensity of Rhea and Solo. Like, they're never going to do a match between those two, but I just thought the, teasing it and, the tension between them I thought was great. And the ending was fine, give a little more credibility for Judgment Day. LWO kind of seems like fodder for this point, and I guess it is what it is, but it's a nice little dynamic between the Judgment Day and the Bloodline, because it's just something different, something new.
Yeah, LWO, they immediately got elevated being on the screen with those guys.
Oh yeah, not only that, but just having LWO with Rey Mysterio, that's a big elevation right there too.
Yeah, I mean, it's the vet bringing back a group he was a part of, and just trying to give it a new school spin. Simple story. They announced for Backlash, Sammy and KO with Riddle going up against Solo and the Usos. I like this.
I do too. It gives Roman a break a little bit, and it allows the guys to shine, I think. I mean, obviously, the Usos and Sammy and KO all shined at WrestleMania. Look at what they did and how they came out of it. It was spectacular. But this gives them another chance to do it again and prove that they are main event worthy.
Absolutely. Brandon, do you have anything else?
No, I mean, as Katie said, if Roman's not going to be on the show, it makes sense to kind of have this. I would assume maybe Riddle is going to be the fall guy in this scenario, and with presumably Brock and Cody going to be the main event. You don't need like a super duper undercard. It's going to sell the show enough, and with Bad Bunny as well in the tag team match. So it's a good little kind of step in the bloodline for wherever they're going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cody and Brock gets made official for Puerto Rico for Backlash. Cody comes out to the ring. Adam Pearce says he's not medically cleared to be there. Security comes out there. Brock's music hits. Cody's a one-man wrecking crew. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
So how come Adam Pearce hasn't done this for like literally every other segment for Monday Night Raw that teases, fisticuffs?
Well, Cody wasn't medically cleared to be there. That's
okay.
why.
Okay, got it.
See, you gotta listen. Got to listen.
Even though I'm pretty sure there's been other times where some wounded wrestlers have gotten into a brawl or something.
Listen, Adam Pearce has favorites. He does, and he's gonna
like Chelsea Green.
Yeah, like Chelsea Green.
Adam Pearce is a man of class. I don't believe that.
No, but he's got his favorites, and he's like he's that guy who's like, I'm gonna show up for the people that I really care about, but everybody else.
It's a bond from one NWA champion to another. He was trying to protect Cody.
Of course. And not only that, but this definitely gave us a preview of what we can expect the unbridled rage of Cody Rhodes against Brock Lesnar is going to be. He's out for blood.
He is. He is out for blood. I'm excited. Solo Sikoa had a match with Rey Mysterio, beat him. It was fun, and then the Usos attacked Rey. It was good stuff. I like that.
Sorry, Rey with the after having the feud, or I guess the match with Dominic, because their feud's not done yet. Getting the win there, and then now he just kind of is like losing all those other matches, which like whatever. But I kind of wish I've always wished more for Rey where he is, but Solo's on a roll, I guess.
Solo is on a roll. Rollins defeated Miz. There was a new aggression to the Miz, and that DDT with the hook and the keep going. I love it. I love it. Miz is an innovator all these years later.
And it made sense for Rollins to win that match because it puts him over even more. And it gives us even more reason to just dislike the Miz, which he's an amazing heel. Like, I don't say this often enough, but major props to The Miz because he's just excellent to hate.
The Miz isn't a bad guy. The people that boo him are bad. Miz is a good guy. For all he's done all these years, and people still don't respect him. How dare they?
I know, it's so unfortunate. After all, he is an A-lister. He deserves that. He deserves respect.
You know who else deserves respect? Omos. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with that.
No.
Where was he? Where was he on the show?
He wasn't.
Yeah, he was nowhere.
He was not on the show. I don't know what they were doing in the writer's room. I need to figure that out. But I need Omos to be on the screen all the time. You know, whatever show gets Omos is going to be the most watched show in WWE. Like, do you guys realize that?
I highly doubt that.
Come on,
3 hours
bro.
of Omos.
Where are my homosexuals at? Where my Homo sapiens at, bruh? Where are y'all? I'm calling out to you. Come
No.
on, guys.
I'm still exploring my Omos sexuality.
Stop exploring it and just embrace it.
Anyway,
No, we're not done. We're not done. We're not done talking about Omos. No, absolutely
Nah,
not.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm moving on.
You can be done. Brandon and I are not done. So why are you exploring your Omos sexuality? Why don't you just embrace it?
Because it's a journey, and I'm just, seeing if it's exactly.
Hey,
Brandon. Hey,
I-
Brandon.
I just got there.
Hey, Brandon, what did you think about Trish Stratus and her promo?
Look, Katie, I will mute you. I haven't muted.
Well, it was
No,
nice for Trish Stratus.
Shut up. Shut up. Look,
I bring the chaos every time.
all right. Now, Brandon, stop
No,
exploring.
no, we're done. We're done.
No,
We're
no,
done.
we're not.
We're done.
Katie,
We're done.
You are pressing the line. You are pressing the line.
Do
I
not be
push the
like
line
a
every time.
Republican senator, Phillip, and try to pigeonhole my homosexuality.
Whoa,
Okay?
whoa. Nobody's pigeonholing
Oh.
anything.
I think you are. I think you just did.
Look,
I think it's time to
listen,
move on now.
listen,
We're getting
listen,
too
listen.
heated.
Just stop exploring and embrace. That's all I'm saying. Now, Trish Stratus explains why she did what she did. She attacked Lita. She attacked Becky and all these other things. What was the line? I'm not your childhood fantasy, or
I'm not your fantasy. I'm not a sidekick. I am the greatest of all time, essentially, is what she said. Don't
Right.
quote
And
me
then
on it. But that's what she
insert
said.
old Roman Reigns photo with the Trish Stratus cutout, which I thought was hilarious.
Yes.
Shout out Roman.
But obviously, we're seeing a great heel turn with Trish. This is going to probably set up something great with Becky for Backlash.
No, the rumor is SummerSlam, because this was announced like a month before it happened that Trish would turn heel. And you know what? We need to who is doing this? This is the real topic we need to have. Who's leaking this information?
The Young Bucks.
Like, this needs to seriously, this needs to stop. This person needs to be fired. Why are you doing this? What? Like, why? What happened? Can we go back to? I know we can't. Actually, we really can't go back to the days, but back in the day when it was just Bruce, Vince, and Pat Wright, it was fine. Nothing got out. It needs to be just Hunter, just Bruce, and who? P.S. Hayes. There we go. Just we don't need all these writers. Just get a 3-man team like you had back in the day, man. Everything go back to being fine.
Well, I mean, looking at it from a business aspect, why aren't these people under NDAs?
Are they? Do we know?
If they aren't, then that's a really bad move on WWE's part, because if they're not under NDA, then they can leak stuff without a issue.
And this is why gambling with WWE is a very slippery slope, because if only a certain amount of people should know, and if they say anything, then they're under legal terms and whatever, and it's a whole thing. This is why.
First of all, don't gamble. Just don't do that. Don't do that at all.
But also make sure that you NDA your people. If you're giving them sensitive information that shouldn't be leaked to the press or leaked to, dirt sheets or whatever, then you need to make sure that you're taking the proper precautions. It's business 101.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that they do, but they obviously have a leak somewhere and they need to address it, and they're not.
Maybe I should get some NDAs around here. I don't know.
Anyway, since Phillip muted me, I'm just going to tell my joke again. Well, it was nice that Trish and Brock Lesnar both wore the same thing on Raw. They both killed it. Looked beautiful. Thank you. But
That's not a joke. That's a fact. They both.
It is a fact. Well,
Twinsies.
Brock didn't really have the push-up shirt, but he could have rocked it if he tried.
He could have rocked it.
But Trish as a heel, like her promo itself was like fine, but it's very similar to Edge. It's like she's a legend. People like her. You'll get like some people booing, but it's nothing like passionate by any means. So it's like, was it really worth her turning heel to do all this? I would probably say no, but
no. She had one promo. Let's wait till the story's over.
Well, even then, there's the loopholes of like the
stories never end.
The logistics of Trish Stratus filling in for Lita, and then she takes the pinfall. There's definitely we need to take it up with the Washington Sports Commission on that one, because I think the fix might have been in. I think she knew she was going to take the fall. I'm just saying. I'm going to write a petition to the Washington Sports Commission.
Well, good luck with
Justice for Lita and Becky.
Yes. Bronson Reed attacks Lashley while Lashley was having a match with the United States champion Austin Theory. What do you think about ATL's new shirt? Austin Theory Live.
Just another WWE shirt I will not be buying.
Why not?
I don't even know the last time I bought. Well, I bought Dominic, shout out, for Christmas. I bought him a Shotzi helmet. I think that is the last time I've ever like legitimately I've like looked at some of the classic stuff, but that's the last time I bought something on WWE Shop. And before that, it's probably been a while since then.
You need to fix that.
The last time I bought something on WWE Shop, I got a fanny pack that was the SmackDown Women's Championship, and the zipper's not on the right end of the championship belt fanny pack.
Well, that's something.
So I won't be buying anything for a while.
WWE Shop is great. Best merchandise store, of course. They do great work. But Bronson and Lashley, this is fun. I'm excited.
I mean, it's fun, two beefy men slapping meat, but it's led to 2 weeks back-to-back of non-finishes with the count out last week and the interference this week. So not a big fan of that, but I do like Lashley, getting in the storyline after the whole Bray Wyatt debacle and Bronson Reed getting pushed up a little bit to that top of the mid card. So hopefully they do some good work if and when they have a legitimate match without a crappy finish.
Yeah, I'm excited for the opportunity of getting Bronson and Lashley in a ring together, just duking it out. On a side note, have we heard anything rumor-wise about Bray?
No.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
As it should be. We shouldn't hear anything. We should just see it on TV.
Well, I mean,
stop with the rumors. Please, guys.
Like, I just want to know if he's physically okay.
Guys. Well, yes, of course. We would all like to know that Bray is okay. But yes, the rumors and the leaks should almost stop. AEW Dynamite, Takeshita comes to the aid of the Elite. They're all out there. Kenny's cutting a promo. Bryan Danielson pops up on the screen, and then Claudio, Moxley, and Yuta all attack them. Yeah. That was a cool segment.
I thought it was a fun little segment. The Elite, Kenny being serious. They weren't goofy by any means, and whatever the end goal is, or whether this was the plan all along of Takeshita joining up with the Elite in this scenario. It was fun to get him involved. Maybe not the excitement that maybe people thought or maybe AEW expected, but I don't know if Takeshita is the end goal. Maybe it's Hangman Page or Kota Ibushi possibly to join up with them. So I overall liked it, getting Bryan Danielson back on screen after being last week off. So I'm very much enjoying the Elite BCC thing right now.
Katie, you have any thoughts?
I mean, honestly, I feel like it was a good segment. I didn't see it coming, so it was fun to watch.
Chris Jericho and Adam Cole have a little promo battle, and then the Jericho Appreciation Society and the Outcast attack Cole and Britt Baker. How do we feel?
In Pittsburgh, of all places.
I know, right?
I
The back and
mean,
forth, but sorry, go ahead, Katie.
if we want to get technical here, it was Jericho and Adam Cole going back and forth, and then the Jericho Appreciation Society, I believe it was Daniel Garcia and Chris Jericho specifically, they attacked Adam Cole. Britt Baker came out to help him, and then the Outcast came and jumped her from behind. And we watched the Outcasts repeatedly beat her with a kendo stick while Adam Cole was handcuffed to one of the ropes.
Doesn't
Great.
Britt Baker have friends?
Sure, but where were they?
No clue, even though they just had a match together.
Right? Like, where was Jamie?
Where was my girl Reba? I mean, come on. Put Reba on
Right?
television.
What the heck? Either way, we end with Jericho Appreciation Society and Outcast leaving the ring. Britt Baker is just writhing in pain, and Adam Cole is going, I'm sorry, and they help them out of the ring. And oh boy, talk about brutality right there. I wonder what this is going to mean.
I like the talking between Jericho and Cole, like that little promo beforehand was fine. And then I thought it went downhill once Britt got involved and they did the whole melodramatic Singapore cane, and he's at the ropes, and as you said, no Riho, no Jamie Hayter, no Reba, no like any baby faces of women to come out to help Britt. And it was just like, I think it went on way too long. Like, you could have done something quicker of, beat her down viciously for a couple seconds and then have the run. And I just thought it went on way too long, and they were trying to like really milk it. And like, I know me personally, I wasn't really feeling the emotion. I don't think, even in her hometown, I don't think the crowd was like as into it and like, oh my gosh, like start, crying over like maybe what they were trying to go for. So I just thought they kind of missed the mark.
So at different points during the show, did it sound like the crowd like just got really loud immediately and then quieted back down to you?
Oh yeah.
Sounded like something like it. Now we've talked about piped in crowd noise. Now that definitely sounded like that to me. Somebody had the fader and they just went up really fast and then brought it down. I was like, why does that sound like that? Yeah, I mean, the whole handcuff thing, I immediately thought about, when Orton handcuffed Triple H and Stephanie was lying there. That's what this brought me back to. But I didn't get the same, I didn't get the same feeling. I don't know. I see what they were going for, but it didn't happen. Sammy Guevara defeated Jungle Boy. He advances to face Darby Allin next week, and then the winner of that faces MJF at Double or Nothing for the heavyweight title. Jungle Boy got counted out. Tis tis. It is what it is.
I mean, this was another part of Dynamite that I wasn't a huge fan of. We've been kind of laying the groundwork for a fatal four-way if that's where they're going. And then we do the MJF comes out, pulls a name out of a hat for a buy. And how do we know if that's a legit thing? And then Tony Khan's just signing off on it. And then we go later on where they have the segment backstage with Sammy and MJF, and then just blatantly on camera, MJF is paying off Sammy to do what? He like lay down for him. So what does that mean? Is he laying down for Jungle Boy, laying down for MJF? And I just thought this was very convoluted and didn't make a whole lot of sense. And then you get the run in afterwards with MJF. Like, what happens if Jungle Boy beat Sammy Guevara in like 2 minutes instead of, going back and forth for 10 minutes, and then MJF interfered. So I just thought it was very convoluted and very confusing for no reason.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't quite catch what exactly MJF was paying Sammy off to do. I thought that their chemistry on screen was fun. Their whole "we're friends" thing, but like
Well, I think
obviously,
it would help if Sammy's been so anti MJ this whole time, and then now he flaunts a check, which I get he's a heel, but like he just flaunts a check
yeah.
in his face for a blank check, and then now they're best friends. It's like, okay, whatever.
I mean, if you think about it, that's Sammy though. Like he's a heel. He's gonna follow the money. That's what he wants is the money. He's in it for fame. He's in it for big payouts. Sure, why not take a blank check from MJF and go you know, beat down Jungle Boy or lay down for MJF at Double or Nothing. Like I don't know what was he paying him off for.
Apparently, from my understanding, it was to pay him off so Sammy gets all the way to the finals for Double or Nothing, and then Sammy lays down finger poke of doom style for MJF. So if that's the case, which we saw all this on television, AEW and Tony Khan are just going to sign off on that and allow that to happen on a pay-per-view. I don't think they should, but that's the story they were telling, which makes absolutely zero sense from a logistical standpoint.
Yeah, that none of that makes sense. None of that makes sense.
I think at the end of the day, we're going to get the Fatal 4-Way anyways, but I thought it was a very convoluted way to get there. Like, and also like a 3-man tournament. Like, why can't MJF just pull out some Big Bill or somebody to go after him, have Darby face Big Bill and have Sammy and Jungle Boy face off 1-on-1. And then, Darby can beat Big Bill and they face off and do whatever they're going to do next week. There's a lot of things that I did not like about this whole main event title segment.
Well, at least it's not you have to beat so-and-so and then this guy, then this guy. At least we're not doing that again.
Or I even thought maybe we're going to get weird and do like a round robin type thing of just have all 3 guys face one-on-one, but we didn't get that either.
Yeah.
No G1 climax action.
Just make it a 4-way. Just make it a 4-way. That's the easiest way to go. Yeah. Wardlow wins back the TNT Championship. Why?
Because they're in Pittsburgh and AEW is anti-WWE, so you win in your hometown. Unless you're Britt Baker, then you just get absolutely... Well, she did win, but then she just got absolutely blistered later on.
What was the point of all this, then?
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of at. What was the point of having Powerhouse Hobbs win in San Francisco when they were just gonna strip him of the title anyway?
Wardlow wins the title back, loses it a few days later to Hobbs in a way that I really didn't agree with. And then 4 or 5 weeks later, just wins it back? What are we doing?
No clue.
I don't understand. Makes no sense to me.
It feels like they're phoning it in writing wise. No lie. At least for this particular Dynamite, it felt like everything was phoned in.
Yeah, I don't understand. Don't know why it happened. I'm kind of done with this episode. Jay White had his in-ring debut. That happened.
Yeah, solid match. Him and Commander, whatever, how you're supposed to say his name.
Commander?
It was a fun match, good match. I don't know how they want to introduce him, whether it's a killer or just a guy who can have really good matches, which I guess we can do either which way, but I don't know. It wasn't an inspiring debut for Jay White. He just kind of went out there, had a decent match, and that was it. I think a squash match probably would have done him a little bit better. Just kind of get over his character, hit the Blade Runner, bam. And then I don't know if they want to play this up, but you'd be like, oh, he's the guy who gave Adam Cole a concussion. He's, very dangerous and all this other stuff. And, do some, not a similar angle, but, just really put over how scary Jay White is and how big of a deal he is.
Yeah. The match was solid, but it was nothing to write home about. I didn't I'll be honest with you, despite the fact that it was his debut, I don't quite remember the match. And I just watched this today.
Jay White, you should have went to WWE, bro. I'll say it. You should have went there. Just, it's just how I feel. It's just how I feel. All right, well, we're gonna wrap things up here, ladies and gentlemen. But this Sunday, Ugwa Emporium San Francisco Megalomania 8. Come see all your favorites. We got a lot of matches. Triple threat, Sandra Moon versus Brooke Havoc versus Johnny Robbie. The squad, consisting of D-Rogue and Kenny K, defend the Ugwa Tag Team titles against Sky High. You can come see the Battle King, the Ugwa Champ, Dave Dutra, defend against Sonico. The Gatekeeper Champion, Jordan Cruz, is going up against Alex Ace. The Championship of Sharks. Jay Vidal cashes in his quest for the key against Dark Sheik. There is another quest for the key gauntlet match. Nick Xander, Rob Shit, Anton Voorhees, Adrian Noctis, Midas Creed, Lazarus, and Toby Reynolds. And what I think will be the main event, and it will be utter chaos. The South Pacific Savages, consisting of Journey Fatu and Juicy Finale, going up against the world's freshest tag team, and also going up against Money, Power, Respect in a triple threat hardcore match.
I am so excited for that match.
That's going to be crazy. I'm on the call. You don't want to miss it. Thank you guys so much. Be safe and stay dangerous. Yes, sir.
Ain't nobody better. Look. Yeah. Listen to us every time we live in the side. When you turn it on, it's just defining the mind. If you feel it, our opinions is great. When everything we moving now in the state, turn us on. If the feeling is right, every opinion now comes from the heart. No time we move with a part. We on the radio, it's wrestling. Times are crashing. Here is the feeling in the pool. Get the lesson. And if you want to prove it to you now, here's the feeling in the time and everything that we did. Listen to the senators connecting it. Moving on everything that's pronouncing it.